The Tories did more to clean up rivers than people think, an ex-minister claims. What? We're going to read into this more from this exclusive from my news, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an exclusive from iNews with the headline that the Tories did more to clean up rivers than people think, ex-minister claims. The former MP Rebecca Pow said the Conservative Party should have highlighted its environmental success more in the election, including monitoring river pollutions. Okay. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and shares across social media so others are notified of this video. Rebecca, you do realise that the last 14 years, especially the last couple of years, you guys are ones who made our rivers and seas, you know, standing by and allowing the water companies to fill our rivers, our seas, and our nature with brown stuff, with sewage. You guys know that you guys are ultimately responsible for that. As the government, as your political party who's been in charge. You do realise that. And they're saying here, oh, we've been such a success. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, what on earth is she talking about? Like, I mean, the headline itself just bobbles my mind. And maybe someone in the comments can tell me, has there been a Conservative in your area that maybe has cleaned up the rivers that they were ultimately responsible for? Please feel free to enlighten me. You know, but I have a very hard time believing it myself. But maybe there's someone out there who agrees with Rebecca in saying, yeah, the Tories, who put lots of poo in my rivers, have also cleaned it up. Well, to be fair, you can't say it's Labour. It's technically, well, you can't say it's the Conservatives, but technically it's the water companies. But they did allow the water companies to get away with this as well. Let's be very clear here. They sat on this while everyone was kicking and screaming about this. They were saying, do something about this. And they was just sitting on this. Sitting on this. And by the way, for those who are saying, oh, why hasn't Labour cleaned up the rivers and the seas just yet? Why haven't they fixed it all? You know it's going to take a few years to clean this crap up. You know that, right? It's going to take a while because Mother Nature doesn't heal overnight. It takes time. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, just like I said the Labour government has only been in for a month, and you already want to say everything's Labour's fault, and it's just like, dude, like I said, 100 days at least, and then you can be judgmental on them, but at least. Let's wait 100 days, okay? But here, yeah, let's hear what this crazy former Tory MP has had to say here. So more was done tackling river pollution by the Conservative government than they get credit for, an ex-environment minister has said, even though that they're the ones who allowed the private water companies to fill our rivers and seas and our nature with poo. The former MP Rebecca Pow, who lost her Somerset seat to the Liberal Democrats, said the Tories could have pushed their environmental credentials more in the election, including on monitoring river pollution. Failure to do so, she argued, meant the party lost votes in the Lib Dems in rural seats and gives Labour a free rein to take credit in government. Ms Pow, the former MP for Taunton Dean, served as a junior minister in the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, Defra, from 2019 to 2024. Writing for the Eye, Ms Pow said her party took major steps to tackle the chronic problems of sewage pollution when in office. Oh, yes. Didn't it get worse between 2019 and 2024? She said she could have put more emphasis on this record and challenged the current Tory leadership candidates to recommit to the environment in their campaign. A source close to Ms Pow said she was frustrated that the fight was not taken to the Lib Dems on this issue during the general election campaign, and instead allowed the party to continuously attack the government's record on this. Well, the problem is that they kind of sat. The problem is that it's easy to say, oh, they should have done more to fight it. Well, the problem is that it got worse under their watch. And they didn't do anything about it. I'm proud of what we have achieved at Defra, but I'm frustrated that, as a party, we failed to trumpet our record, Pow wrote. And she went on, contrary to what other parties said, we took major steps to tackle the chronic problem of sewage pollution. Just doesn't smell right, that does it? Thanks to Conservative ministers, 100% of English storm overflows are now fitted with monitors, meaning we know the scale of the issue, and water firms are mandated to invest £60 billion in upgrading the sewage system. Yeah, but again, who allowed this to happen? Who allowed the sewage to happen in the first place? Who didn't do more to hold them to account? Oh, that's right. It was the Conservatives. We also lift the cap on fines for water companies for illegal pollution incidents and ring-fence the funds for water quality projects. She said the party could and should have done more, but argued we did more than any government previously to tackle the drivers of biodiversity loss and pollution. We did more than any government previously to tackle the drivers of biodiversity loss and pollution. Yes, this Conservative government said they done more, guys. Do you agree with that? If you do, explain to me why you agree with that down in the comments below. But she said she was disappointed with my own party because it undervalues and undersold the electoral asset that is our record on the environment, which left Labour to claim our victories as their own. Ms Pow argued this approach had lost the Conservative voters in the so-called blue wall seats in the southwest. In the Labour government's first King's speech, it promised to introduce a water bill, which it said it would improve water economies by putting failing water companies under tough special measures. Ms Pow said this was an intimidation of what the Tory government had done in office. They are increasing monitoring of overflows, limiting water excessive bonuses and boosting fines. All policies were set in train, she wrote. It took years of hard work across multiple Conservative governments to build up our generally strong record on nature and climate change. I therefore challenge in all aspects in Conservative leaders to recommit to the environment, take the fight to Lib Dems and Labour on our natural home turf, and pledge to build on our achievements in government. Tim Farron, the former environment spokesperson, accused the Tory government of having to turn a blind eye to water companies pumping and polluting filth into our waterways. Bingo! It's not rocket science to figure this out. It was all talk and no action from the previous government when it came to the sewage crisis. Conservative MPs voted time and time again to take taking against proper action against the big water firms, he said. The public saw through their lies and saw that the Liberal Democrats had a clear plan to tackle the sewage scandal. Yes, this Liberal Democrats, a lot of people led their votes to Lib Dems in terms of tactical voting. But Lib Dems were very clear about how they felt about the environment. The Greens did too as well. Labour, obviously, I do think Labour will clean it up, but I think the Lib Dems and the Greens were much more stronger on the environment than Labour, in my opinion. The Eye has called on the government to sign up to a 5-point manifesto to save Britain's rivers from sewage and other forms of pollution, which has been endorsed by over 20 leading environmental groups. Whether it will or not remains to be seen. But Rebecca has been taking whatever Michael Gove normally takes, shall we say, allegedly. She's been drinking something that she may or may not have been drinking allegedly as well, because there's I don't accept this. I'm not accepting this premise that they have cleaned up our rivers and whatnot, because they are the ones who allowed it to happen in the first place. You know, if you let me put it another way, guys, right? If I knocked over something, a major large spill, right? Let's just say hypothetically. Let's just say I knocked over something and it left a large massive mess, on the floor. Oh dear, I caused a mess, right? And then I clean up that mess, right? Okay, I cleaned up the mess that I made, yeah? I don't go around and saying, yay, everyone give me credit. Well, if everyone would say no, because you made the mess in the first place. Why should we give you credit? And that's exactly what's happened here. The Conservatives allowed the mess to happen. They've allegedly here, obviously tried to claim they've cleaned up some bits, and they're trying to take some credit here, and it's just like, but you allowed it in the first place. So what do you guys honestly think? Do you think she has some point, or do you think she's been smoking or drinking something allegedly when she had this interview? Let me know your thoughts about all this and more in the comments section down below. Now, if you found this video interesting, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.